Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel 5 Minute Pediatric. Today we will discuss about the feeding protocol in low birth weight infant. It is one of the important practical chapter of pediatric. So let us start with feeding protocol. So before starting we must look whether the child is sick or healthy. If the child is sick, having following condition, the child having severe respiratory distress and hemodynamically unstable on mechanical ventilation, the child having seizure, severe dyselectrolytemia, or having cardiac failure, NEC, or the child having hydrops, we should start IV fluid in this condition. And if the child become hemodynamically stable, then we can think to start feed. Okay, and if the child is healthy, then we look for the gestational age, not birth weight. Previously birth weight was taken into account, now gestational age is important, and we assess maturation of sucking and sucking, swallowing, breathing coordination. Now the child is divided into 4 group less than 28 week. In this baby, there is no sucking usually, and no gut propulsive motility. Okay, so we have to start IV fluid in this condition. Although we can start men, but IV fluid we have to start. In 28 to 31 week, there is a sucking burst present, and sucking, swallowing, breathing, there is no coordination. So in these baby we have to start orogastric feed or nasogastric feeding. In 32 to 34 week, there is light maturation in sucking and coordination, so we can start Palladi, and more than 34 week coordination is fully matured along with sucking, so breastfeeding is allowed in this child. Now, 2 important terms we have, NNS and MEN. NNS is non-nutritive sucking. From the name we can, non-nutritive means this type of sucking is not for nutritional purpose. Okay, non-nutritive sucking. Non-nutritive sucking helps in rapid maturation of feeding skill and also improve milk secretion. Now MEN is minimal enteral nutrition, also called trophic feed or gut priming. Okay, this is also important topic and frequently asked. Here MEN improves gut hormones or gut maturation rather than nutrient delivery. It decreases feed tolerance, NEC, and it also improves weight gain. Guideline for starting MEN is usually postnatally day 2 to 3 or as soon as possible. We can use premature maternal milk or full strength colostrum or pasteurized donor human milk. The dose is 0.5 ml every 4 hourly, which is regardless of gestational age and birth weight. Alternatively, we can give 10 to 20 ml per kg per day in 8 aliquots. So gut priming is not done in suspected NEC case or ileus or severe hemodynamically unstable child. Now we have option of feeding We can use Paladai or Katori spoon feeding depending upon baby coordination and sucking ability. We have nasogastric tube or orogastric tube, out of which nasogastric feeding, there is increased airway resistance and work of breathing. So orogastric tube is considered better than nasogastric feeding. Other we have intermittent bolus feeding versus continuous feeding. In continuous feeding, there is significant loss of fat and energy as lipid get attached to the tubing. So intermittent bolus feeding is better than continuous feeding. Now we have which milk to be used in case of LBW infant. We have expressed breast milk. These expressed breast milk either from own mother or donor mother. Before starting milk from donor mother, one should take consent. So how we can store? We can store in room temperature around for 6 hours and in refrigerator for 24 hours. If there is a contraindication or if we cannot use express breast milk in sick mother, if the mother is sick, then we have formula feed. We have preterm formula for very low birth weight and term formula for term infant. Other option we have animal milks also, example cow milk. Now how much milk to be given to the baby? This is also important aspect. So as we know that the daily fluid requirement of baby, if the weight is less than 1500 or if the weight is 1500 2500, then 60 ml per kg, and if the weight is less than 1580 ml per kg per day requirement, and daily weight loss is 15 ml per kg to 20 ml per kg. So in the first week we have 150 ml in both the cases, and on second week, that day 14, we have 180 ml per kg. We can divide the feed volume in equally quart, and we can give it by orogastric or Paladai every 2 hourly or 3 hourly, depending upon child condition. Now what are the nutritional supplement we have to give in case of very low birth weight? Okay, we have two methods to supplement, either through giving individual nutritional supplement. We have to give calcium, phosphorus, we have to give multivitamin drop, we have to give D3 drop, we have to give folate drop, we have to give iron drop. Okay, but this doesn't seems to be feasible. and this would not meet the calorie requirement or protein requirement of the baby. And there is also increased osmolarity, so this method is not preferred. We have preferred method in the form of fortification of expressed breast milk, either through HMF, human milk fortifier, or preterm formula. Now we have HMF. HMF, we have Lactodex HMF. 1 gram sachet is available and cost is rupees 21 per sachet. These Lactodex HMS contains optimal quantity of protein and calorie along with micronutrient. There is deficiency of zinc in Lactodex HMF, so we have to give these. Now 1 gram to be dissolved in 25 ml expressed breast milk, so 4 gram per 100 ml is required in Lactodex HMF, and we have to give additional zinc. Now next we have Hijam. It is also 1 gram sachet and cost is rupees 25 gram per sachet. Similar composition but contains high calcium phosphate and iron. Here also 1 gram to be dissolved in 25 ml of expressed breast milk, so 4 gram is for 100 ml, so 4 sachet is required. And here deficient is zinc and vitamin D, so we have to give additional if we are using Hijam. Next we have Prenan HMF. It is also 1 gram sachet, cost is rupees 30 rupees. It is dissolved in 25 ml expressed breast milk. Here we see that Hijam and Lactodex are dissolved in 25 ml and Prenan is dissolved in 25 ml, so 5 gram per 100 ml is required. And additional we have to give vitamin D supplement. Okay. Other we have Similac HMF, 0.9 gram per sachet. Now we have fortification with preterm formula. Previously we have read about fortification with HMF, now fortification with preterm formula. Okay, we have Daxolax Special Care, we have Prenan formula, we have Lactodex LBW formula. The recommended dose is 0.4 gram per 10 ml of breast milk. This seems to be more economical than HMF. But there is one drawback. So the amount is very much small, so very difficult to measure, and RDA recommended dietary allowance of calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D, folic acid not even met, so we have to give additional supplement. So a small scoop, that is 1 gram, to be dissolved in 25 ml plus additional supplement you have to give. Now we will compare expressed breast milk and expressed milk breast milk fortification with Lactodex and preterm formula, and what we have to supplement in what dose. Okay, if the child is on 100 ml per kg per day of breast milk, so if the child is only on expressed breast milk, what we have to give? So we have to give calcium and phosphorus. The dose for calcium we have 150 milligram per kg per day. Just half is phosphorus, is phosphate, we have 75 milligram per kg per day. If we are using osteocalcium syrup, we have to give 8 to 10 ml per kg per day. So this is, you can easily remember if you, and we have to give multivitamin drop 1 ml per day. In this condition, vitamin D additional is not required. You have to give folate 0.3 ml per day and iron 2 milligram per kg per day. Should be started at 4 weeks. If we are using Lactodex HMF for fortification, we only required multivitamin drop 1 ml per day. We do not require additional calcium or vitamin D or folate or iron. And if we are fortifying express breast milk with preterm formula, we have to give all the supplement, but the dose is reduced. Syrup osteocalcium given at the rate of 5 to 6 ml per kg per day. Multivitamin drop 1 ml per day. Vitamin D we have to give after seeing the composition of preterm formula, how much it contains. Folate 0.1 ml per day and tonoferon drop 2 milligram per kg per day or 2 drop per kg per day. You can easily calculate. We have to continue fortification for 40 week post menstrual age. Okay, or 2 kg, whichever is earlier. Okay, for fortification we can use HMF, human milk fortification, and if it is not available, we can use preterm formula plus additional supplement. Now we have supplementation in infant having weight 1500 to 2500 gram. So in these baby we have to give vitamin D and iron. Vitamin D is given at a dose of 400 international started at 2 weeks and given for 2 years. Similarly, iron is given at a dose of 2 milligram per kg per day, started at 4 weeks and given for 2 years. Now we have started supplementation, and now we have to monitor growth. How we monitor growth of a baby on fortified diet? We have to weight daily. As we know that the term baby loses weight 10% and preterm 15% in first 7 days of life. T for term, T for 10, preterm pause 15%. Okay, and the child again regain weight around 10 to 14 days, and 20 milligram per kg per day plus minus 5 is considered to be appropriate. We have discharge criteria. When to discharge: if the child is more than 34 week and 1600 gram and 3 consecutive weight gain is there. Now we have growth chart for newborn. We have Phantom growth chart and WHO. In next video we